Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to give my review of Peninsula UK HR and talk about the dangers of getting into long-term contracts. Alright, so today I'm not going to talk about apps or technology. I'm going to talk about something a little bit more small business related, which is getting stuck into long-term contracts. Now a lot of times when we sign up for services, we'll get into like a 1-year contract or a 6-month contract or even multi-year contract where we have to, even though we have a monthly fee, we get stuck into it for a certain amount of time. But most of the time there's an out. You know, we have to give a notice period or something like that. I mean, a lot of services are like that. G Suite, I'm on a 1-year contract, so even though I'm paying monthly, if I increase the amount of licenses that I have, I can't decrease those until I reach my 1-year mark, which is February, which is fine. I've been with G Suite since, God, it must be like 10 years now. Adobe's another one. I'm increasing my Adobe licenses when I bring on new people, and then when things get tough and I need to downsize a little bit, then I have to limit those number of licenses, but I could do that on the annual contract, which is, it stings a bit, but it's not so bad. But today I wanted to talk about one of the companies that every time I look at it, I get upset with myself because I pay this company about £200, well, £190 every single month, and they're called Peninsula HR. So again, this is one of the reasons I don't talk about this very much. I don't even talk about it among friends is because it's embarrassing. Like, I signed this contract and I just can't seem to get out of it, and it has not been a very good experience for me. So about 2 years ago, it's been nearly 2 years ago, I was hiring my first employee, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. You know, I dropped an employment contract. I was asking around, and somebody told me you should probably get an HR company. There's lots of them out there. So I Googled HR companies, and I found Peninsula UK HR, and they were very nice. A salesperson came out. We talked about different stuff. They upsold me on a few things, which was fine. And I said, you know, signed a contract. So it was like a 3-year contract, and then I had to pay less over a 3-year term. I thought, sure, that should be fine because things were going really well at the time. But then, you know, after like a few months, my first employee left, and it was just me for a while, which was preferable, except I still had this HR company. So when I hired my next person, and so I was paying every month, paying £200, I did call up and say, hey, can I cancel this? They said, unfortunately not, you're in the 3-year term, but you know, whatever. So I thought, okay, so is there any way out of this? And they said, no, really, there wasn't. So, so then when I brought on my second employee, I thought, well, finally I got to use this HR company. And when I called them up saying I need an employment contract for this person in the short term, they were like, according to our systems, you're no longer on you no longer belong to this, right? And I said, well, you're taking out like £190 each month. Why is that the case? They said, we'll have to have somebody call you back. And of course, a couple days later, I get a call back saying, oh no, actually you are on the system, but you know, for some reason we keyed you as not being in there. So much for that round the clock 24-hour service. So anyway, I was really annoyed, and I tried to say, okay, well, why don't you let me out of this contract since you guys obviously weren't prepared for me to even be calling you and you're not providing any service at all? And they said, no, sorry, we can't do that. So every month I watch this money go out and I just kick myself. Last month I was talking to a friend of mine. She owns an HR company, and if I ever need any HR work, I'll go to her. And she was talking about a lot of her previous clients had a real tough time with this company, Peninsula HR, just getting out of the contract. In fact, some of them are paying thousands of pounds each month to this company, and they actually have to go to lawyers in order to get out of this contract. You know, and I was reading online, somebody left a review on one of the websites, and he has a 16-month cancellation term. So for me, I called them, so I had a call this week from one of the salespeople, which is why it's in my mind again, thinking they're trying to upsell me on something. I said, dude, I have no employees. I'm not doing anything. I'm just paying you guys each month. I can't wait to get out of this. When can I stop paying? And they said, oh, you have to give a notice period. And you have to give a notice period before the contract ends. For me, it would be next February. So Peninsula UK HR, you're welcome. Yeah, I feel like I'm paying alimony to this company. So anyway, so I'm paying this company. Oh, it's embarrassing to talk about it because, you know, you guys would think I'm stupid for having signed that contract. But, you know, so I'm paying this company. So I said, can you cancel it? And said, let me give you the cancellation procedures. And I said, oh yeah, it needs to be done in writing 6 months in advance. and it has to be before February of 2021, right? And when I asked about when does my contract end, the first time I was asking, it was a little sketchy. So, oh, it's not until 2021, I'm afraid. And I go, when? Give me a date when this thing ends. And then they said, oh, it's February 2021. And I said, okay, I want to, I don't want to pay any part past that. And I said, well, I'll have somebody give you a call later on this afternoon. Of course, there was no call, right? And a few days later, somebody called, and I finally got a call. This was weeks ago, and then yesterday I got a call. He gave me an email address for me to make my formal cancellation 6 months in advance. So I guess I'll be like 6 months early for this one, right? And the email bounced, right? So I'm like going through all these different emails, right? I look online. So the reason I'm bringing this up, first of all, the first reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm paying them 190 pounds a month. I might as well be able to talk about them on the videos and give my perspective. I looked online, I found lots of really, really good reviews. I'm sure there's lots of people who are very happy with them. But for me, it's just, as a small business person where the economy goes up and down and you need to have a bit more flexibility, I was stupid to sign that. And I wanted to bring it up just to talk about Peninsula HR. In case anybody's Googling it and they want to find out, I want to give my opinion of it and the type of stuff. And the second reason is because as a small business person, as a developer, as a contractor, you always have to look for the out clause. I mean, years ago when I was a contractor working in London, I remember like a more senior contractor said, Eric, you always need to look for the out clause. Like, how much notice do you need? Even though it's a 6-month contract, if something goes wrong, if it's an awful contract, how much notice do you have to give them? How much notice do they have to give you? And it's something I've always done. And to be honest with you, when I was hiring my first person, I was like really, really nervous. I was a bit naive, and I signed this contract. I signed my name in blood to Peninsula HR, so Peninsula UK HR. And you know what? I really wish I had it. So anyway, I'll be paying them for the next year and a bit. Some of you guys might say, why don't you just cancel your direct debit? I thought about that. I'm more afraid of legal action than anything else. So I'll just put this out there. And for those of you guys. Now, my question to you, first of all, if you've ever worked with Peninsula HR, please put it in the comments. If you love them, put it in the comments. If you hate them, put it in the comments. But even as app developers out there, is there a company out there that you got stuck in this contract and you really wish you hadn't touched, right? I think it's, every contract should have some sort of way out of it. It's just, they're not providing any service, they're not providing any value, they're just basically collecting the money. And the reason they're collecting the money is because this idiot over here signed the contract and they are not letting me out of it. So anyway, just put that out there. Hey, sorry we're not talking about apps today. I hope you guys are having a good day. And don't criticize me in the comments, please, because I'm embarrassed enough. I am embarrassed enough, but I want to put this out there because you guys know these are the kind of mistakes that people make. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. That's it for today. I will talk to you guys again next time.